Well, as the MC has announced, unfortunately, our guest of honor, speaker, Mr. Ravi Menon, could not join us tonight in person, but he's here in the sense that he knows what's going on, and he will be coming on screen and will be giving his speech according to the program, and as well as conducting the question and answer session, right? Taking questions from the floor during the time. And we are very happy that ESM Gore will preside over the award ceremony for the award essay competition winners. And so our distinguished speaker and guest of honor, I will announce him as well, Mr. Ravi Menon, Managing Director, Monetary Authority of Singapore, Emeritus Senior Minister, Mr. Goh Chok Tong and Mrs. Gore, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this year's Economic Society of Singapore annual dinner. So we're very fortunate that after the 2 years, we are able to come together again to have this annual event, the flagship event of the Society. So this year marks the 66th year since the founding of the Economic Society of Singapore. It's the 66th year. And as most of you would have known, the Economic Society of Singapore is a non-profit organization of economists, professionals, academicians, and policymakers with great interest in economics. Established since 1956, the Society's primary objective is to raise public awareness and stimulate public interest and debate on economic issues. The Society had participated in providing important inputs for various government initiatives, such as the Forward Future Economy, White Paper on Population, the Economic Strategies Committee, the CPF Policy Changes Study, and policy options for the Singapore economy. The Society had also provided a platform for discussions on the annual Singapore government budget by organizing a panel workshop post-budget annually. The Society also publishes the academic journal, the Singapore Economic Review. It is one of the oldest economic journals in Asia, founded in 1956, and this journal is indexed in all major economic indices, including the Social Sciences Citation Index. In fact, the SER is one of the only few journals based in Asia to be indexed in the SSCI since 2009, and the journal is generally now regarded as a leading economics journal based in Asia and also by journal impact factor. In addition to its quarterly publications, special issues on contemporary topics, the academic journal also organizes the biennial Singapore Economic Review Conference Series. The 9th conference was just concluded early this month, over 3 full days, and was attended by some 200 participants from all over the world, with 6 plenary sessions and 55 parallel sessions. The Society also publishes an economic bulletin for the interested general public. Called the Economic Bulletin, it is thematic-based, and this year's publication centering on man and the arts, a copy of which is provided to each of you at this dinner. Economics, as we know, is a study of how society manages its scarce resources among competing demands. And such a definition places economics in both the realms of the social sciences and the decision sciences. As such, economics is not just about investments, finance, and banking. It is also about making everyday decisions, such as purchasing groceries, major decisions like whether to buy a car, where to live, what to study, jobs to consider, and important life decisions, such as when and who to marry and how many children to produce. Likewise, firms need to decide what to produce, how much to produce, when and where to produce, and governments need to effectively allocate public funds to public infrastructures and services such as public safety, education, health, welfare, and services, such as public safety, education, and pollution mitigation. In all these activities, it is necessary to involve the economic thinking of scarcity, choice, and trade-offs. As an environmental economist, I was happy to hear Prime Minister Lee's emphasizing the importance of green public spaces to Singapore in the long term, and not just expansion of residential and commercial areas. The Prime Minister was clearly cognizant of the necessary trade-offs and the need to place values where it matters. He spoke at the Gardens by the Bay, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary, and it was my privilege to provide my economic expertise for this iconic project when it was still in the making, by running a regular cost-benefit analysis clinic at the premises of the Ministry of National Development for officers involved at the time. Society's preferences are dynamic, and therefore, we must have long-term outlook on what constitutes quality of life to make decisions in the present. All stakeholders, government and academia, and wider population need to be engaged to elicit these preferences. Intangible values of leisure, lowered stress, and good air quality, all of which could be evaluated by cost-benefit analysis techniques, and this will aid informed decision-making. Prime Minister Lee also remarked that long-term plans are not just about physical infrastructures, but also economic progress and social resilience. In our post-pandemic world, there is an economic challenge: how to reallocate resources to meet the immediate demands, and after that, find ways to nurse the stricken national economy back to good health, one that is better able to cope with pandemics and other crises to come. To make Singapore more resilient, we need to continue investing in our human capital. The productivity increases will also mitigate a high inflationary environment. Now, in actively promoting a series of activities and events, the society has drawn economic players, from students to members of the profession, in academia, the government, and corporate sectors. A testament to this is the Society's Singapore Economic Policy Forum that is held annually in October. A leading platform for economic policy discussions on Singapore, the forum allows policymakers, scholars, business professionals, students, and interested members of the public to engage views on contemporary economic issues facing Singapore and Asia. The three universities, NTU, NUS, SMU, and the fourth arrival of SUSS, take turns to co-organize this forum with the society. Past forums have focused on economic and social and public policy issues to social issues, including changing economic winds, aggregate employment, financial sector reforms, the Singapore economy, economic relations with ASEAN and China, and specifically also with Malaysia and social safety nets. Last year, NUS organized the 13th Singapore Economic Policy Forum with the theme, Sustainability in the Time of Uncertainty. There were 8 sessions in total covering topics such as building a smart nation, electric vehicles, blockchain technology, green finance, and welfare. Now, SUSS, in its inaugural participation with the society, will be co-hosting the upcoming Singapore Economic Policy Forum on Forward Future Singapore, Economics and Interdisciplinary Studies for the Social Good. We will have Mr. Lawrence Wong, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, as our guest of honor at this forum. Earlier this year, on February the 18th, our Feedback Policy Committee organized a webinar cum book launch titled COVID-19 and the Structural Crisis of Our Time. With the Bank of France, we organized an online seminar on central bank digital currencies. Now, the Society's Young Professionals Career Wing is now in its 9th year. This initiative aims to attract young economists to participate in the Society's activities and at the same time bring in fresh and new ideas to further develop and diversify the Society's mainstream activities into relevant and contemporary issues of the young. The activities of this group include informal gatherings, social interactions among themselves, with guest speakers and invitees from seniors and well-known professionals in government and industry, with the occasional appearances by distinguished academia. This past year saw the Youth Wing organizing a major summit revolving around the themes of the future of financial services and the paradigm shift in traditional world economics. Our Youth Wing, called the ESS Young Professional, had 3 webinars, 1 partnership event, and 1 online talk with a bank CIO and we participated with SMU Economics Intelligence Club on social, political, economic exchange case competition, which was held in September last year. There will be an upcoming workshop on 101 on carbon emissions, targeted at young professionals and SMEs, with Zenia Chang from KPMG Financial Services Advisory. The Society will keep engaging stakeholders and the public on the economic and policy issues of the day. I welcome those of you in the audience tonight who are young professional economists to join us in this endeavor to further rejuvenate the Society. I've said this in past ESS annual dinners, but the same question continues to arise, and that is, who can qualify to be a member of our Young Professionals Career Wing? Well, he or she will be between ages 25 to 35. But let's not quibble about whether those in the age 35 group qualify or not, as we can make exceptions for those slightly above age 35. However, as I said before, we would draw the line on those who consider themselves very young at heart. Now, the Society continues to place a strong emphasis on education and nurturing young talents. The Society's Education Committee actively engages teachers and students of economics through the annual Junior College Seminar Series, in which professional economists and university academicians participate as speakers on various contemporary economic values and issues. The Outstanding Economics Teacher Award, called OETA, besides recognizing outstanding economics teachers, the awards also promote the sharing of best practices by these outstanding teachers and encourage all economics teachers to achieve professional excellence. I would like to thank the Ministry of Education's Curriculum Planning and Development Division, who have provided support, inputs, and administrative details for the setting up of this award. I would also like to thank World Scientific Publishing and Emeritus Professor Gunter Duffy, who has been sponsoring the cash award to be used for professional development. The recipients of this award are announced at the Singapore Economic Policy Forum every year in October. Our Education Committee organized also an inaugural seminar on economics in the news in July this year. There were two sessions, a macro session and a micro session. Speakers for the macro session were Professor David Lee from SUSS, Associate Professor James Lim from ASEC, Associate Professor Tan Swee Liang from SMU. Speakers for the micro session are Associate Professor Walter Tessera from SUSS and Mr. Po Lip Hang, Baker, Mackenzie, Wong, and Liao. Now, the Society also organizes student essay competitions with the original sponsorship, which has continued to this very day, by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Gold medal awards for outstanding graduates in economics at tertiary institutions and study tours. Through the essay competitions, the Society furthers its aim in encouraging members of the public, and particularly the youth, to learn about the role of economic thought and analysis in public policies in Singapore. In recent years, essay competitions which focus on non-traditional areas of economics were also launched. One was sponsored by the National Climate Change Secretariat, and another was sponsored by the Competition and Consumer Commission of Singapore. The Society had also collaborated with yet another sponsor, the Maritime Port Authority of Singapore. To all our essay sponsors, a big thank you. The theme of the MAS ESS essay competition was Economic Drivers in a Post-COVID World. Now, the ESS had also launched a new Applied Policy Economic Speaker Series with the collaboration of the Economist Service, highlighting what economic analysis can do in understanding and dissecting public policies better. The Society looks forward to your continued support. There are many other activities organized by the Society throughout the year, and this can be found in the President's report each year. For those of you who wish to know more about the Society, please visit our website, and we appreciate suggestions and constructive ideas to further strengthen and liven the Society's mission and activities. The Singapore economy faces strong headwinds. We are in the closing chapter of the pandemic, but the world and its global economy are facing new challenges. Other issues emerge or persist, such as the disrupted supply chains, high inflation, rising inequality, uncovering vulnerabilities of our interconnected world. These will test the ongoing structural socio-economic developments of preparedness, resilience, and inclusiveness in Singapore. With the strong headwinds, the challenge is to ensure that these structural changes continue to take place while quickly mitigating possible downturn effects that affect large numbers of people. And again, the issue of scarcity, choices, and trade-offs come into play. On June 28 this year, Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong launched the Forward Singapore exercise at the NTUC Tripartite Dialogue. I have learned a lot about this tripartism spirit, not only from Professor Lim Chong Ya, and as I was working on my book, and I also came across contributions, the live contributions of the Dutch economist advisor to Singapore, Albert Winsemius. And he was following his advice and suggestion that the National Wages Council was set up to enable wide cooperation between workers, businesses, and government. Just like in the past, Singapore is at the crossroads again. Population is aging, income inequality is rising, anxieties over the future are mounting. DPM Wong stressed the importance of building a more socially resilient society, and this will require the continuation of investing in human capital and adjusting policies to cater to the changing needs of the Singapore society. Economics must continue, in my mind, to be relevant to public life. That is the founding goal of the Economic Society of Singapore, and one that must be upheld in every event the society engages in. This goal cannot be emphasized more amidst the current turbulent times. Let me close by thanking the Society's members and sponsors for this evening's dinner and everyone present for your generous support. I would also like to thank my predecessor presidents of the Society. A few are here in tonight's dinner, Dr. Koh Ho Ee, Professor Pasang Kapoor, and Professor Lim Chong Ya, for their immensely important role in building up the Society at its various stages, supported by an able council throughout and an efficient secretariat headed by our senior manager, Ms. Vivian Tan. Finally, to Singapore, which celebrated the 57th year of independence, may we continue to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. Thank you very much.